In 2020, AJL Foundation brought together families and youth, community organizers, professionals working within education and human services, teachers, artists, business owners, policy advocates, founders, and entrepreneurs, parents, and neighbors to select 20 nonprofit organizations serving their communities to each receive a $20,000 general operating support grant. The organizations they selected are the experts. They are committed to their communities. They are powerful leaders, guiding and empowering our families and youth. They are critically important, valued, and valuable. They are irreplaceable. They're the ones on the front lines, and they asked us to pass on a few messages to the field of philanthropy.
I'll start off by saying the Maasai warriors in Eastern Africa have a saying when they go to villages. They say, "Kinserian Njira," which means, "How are the children?" And I work directly with youth, and the children in a lot of instances are not well. And so although this is a great space, this is a wonderful, wonderful space to be in, we got to hop off this call, and the children are still dealing with a lot. And so I really encourage you all to check in with the young people in our communities and wrap them with love and support.
We have to learn to center our work on community, especially young people. And people who have the lived experience to be able to drive it in the way that it needs to take shape and shift. We have to give real leadership roles, including sharing power in the work.
And I think that by supporting that cycle, continuing to grant money to leaders in the communities that they grew up in, that they're from, understand that we love our communities. We love them so much. They're embedded in everything that we do and everything that we think. My students are my entire world. So the work that I do, you will see that.
Now, my Google Calendar right now is color-coded so that every time I'm working with a Black woman, it's purple. Every time I get to coach or train or support a Black woman, it's purple, because that's my love and that's my heart. And so my ask of you is to help me and keep my calendar purple. So that means less back office work, less paperwork, less funder meetings. And I want to ask that on behalf of all of my other colleagues that help us keep our calendars purple, where we get to stay on the front line doing the work with the people we love the most and are trying to serve. So to the extent that you can streamline paperwork and communication and reduce the back office burden, please help us there. I ask you to challenge your assumptions about best practice and be willing to learn from us, because we know our communities.
This is my wish, to have requirements to all funders, right? Whether locally and nationally, to require their board of trustees or their board of members to spend time in the local grassroots organizations in our communities, in our neighborhoods, to meet and build relationships directly with our participants, with our community members.
I think the thing that we need to focus on post-COVID is that the level of support that we're offering our people now is going to change, because before we might have been supporting them when there was one income in the house or maybe two incomes in the house, but sometimes now the support we give them, there's no income. COVID has taken all their income away, or even the other supports that they've had. Some of the programs that they used to go to may be closed now.
Hearing everyone on this call today, these powerful visions, powerful missions against all odds. We're trying to end the school to jail pipeline. We're trying to end poverty. We're trying to end violence. And we're supposed to do this on shoestring budgets with no resources and, in this model of nonprofit scarcity. So I think we're really asking for philanthropy to lean into abundance, lean into adequately supporting us and giving us the resources we need.
Expect success to take time. These disparities and these injustices weren't created in a year, and so you're not going to see all kinds of great progress in a year. It takes time. So dig deeper on what value and metrics and success look like.
If we're going to transform communities in Denver, we've got to transform enough lives and families, and we can't do it alone.
When we're framing our young people, the people in our community, the people we serve in this work, we need to do so through an asset-based lens, okay? Frame them and see them through their assets and their contributions, as well as their visions and desires, all right? They're not low income, they're not poor, they're not colors, they're brilliant people that have a world of potential, and if we uplift them as that, the world's gonna change. Thank you for having me.
One of my third graders told me, Maestra, you'll never know how far you'll fly if you don't open your wings. And I just want you to know that you gave me alas. You gave me wings. So thank you so much.
An open holiday recipe for philanthropy. Ingredients: delicious intention, 1,000-pound gorilla, 800 pounds of authenticity, a genuine belief that lived experience drives social change, a pandemic-sized dose of truth, reality, and radical honesty, 21 grams of soul buried beneath the principles of philanthropy. Mix all ingredients into a clay TECHNICOLOR pot. Add poetry, music, visual art, and community input. Directions: recognize that we are at the pinnacle of global crises and rethink everything. Know that the children are not well and that there is no future time to be brave. Redefine whiteness. Listen to people of color. Root into indigenous perspectives. Stand with Black lives and immigrants. Give women of color space to lead. Streamline applications and reporting. Allow for risks and co-learn from failures. Challenge assumptions about best practices. Fund general operations for longer periods of time. Require less funder meetings and back office burden. Lift the restrictions and provide unrestricted access. Make the process simple and demystify the system. Invest in honor and take bold action without hesitation. Nutrition, cooking time, and celebration. Let it all simmer. Bring it to a boil and smolder. Stir the pot and make good trouble. This harvest feast is long overdue. Move more money in 2021 and recommit in 2022. This is a new holiday recipe for the reclamation of the human soul. Lip service has been paid to some of the ingredients embedded here, but this exquisite and tantalizing recipe has yet to be tried. It is time to reject the inclination towards saviorism and step away from the performance of philanthropy. Shift into an assets-based lens and trust the most impacted to teach us all about our collective survival. The only way to save the funders is to give it all away. Give what is due back to those from whom it was stolen. It is time to fund and finally allow for the great turning, a repairing, a generous reintroduction to ourselves. Give as much money away as possible, then get out of the way. We will rebuild our trust in one another with our hands, our breath, our blood, our hope, and our love. When it is time, be present, dance, and celebrate the grand victory with the grantees. One day, they will be your fellow grantors.